And welcome to another cast in the tournament between today we've got Kelvaro as the Americans in the south on Langreskaya versus fill-in for Junod because Junod was unable to participate. Madbull in the north as the Wehrmacht. First time we'll be seeing the Wehrmacht, and first time we'll be seeing them obviously is against Americans, so it should be interesting. Um, Co-casting again today will be the War Doctor. How's it going, War Doc?
Hey, cool. I'm doing great over here. How about you?
Pretty good. What do you think of this matchup between Americans and Wehrmacht? I know Relic has mentioned that one of the things they want to balance is actually this matchup, and as I guess it favors the Americans at this time.
Exactly. I think it's kind of cool because it's a throwback to Company Heroes 1, since these are technically the factions that people played as before, the Wehrmacht and the Americans. But you are right. I mean, it is something that is sort of unbalanced, mostly because the heavy infantry-based American faction is gonna beat the Wehrmacht in the early beginning, just
That's right.
because vehicles show up until a little bit later for the Wehrmacht.
And even then, like I think the 222, for example, isn't quite having the impact that you would hope against the riflemen, for example. And unfortunately, since the flame half track has been moved into tier 3 about a few months ago. It sees a lot less use, but it actually is very powerful against the Americans. If you want to tip against rifleman spam, definitely try and push for a fast flame half track. I find it works really well.
Oh yeah, especially because once you have that flame half track, at least with the first tier of MGs, you can suppress and then flame the hell out of rifleman spam.
For sure. So a little skirmish here in the north. Looks like some riflemen were engaged by an MG as well as some grenadiers. So they're going to pull back wisely.
Exactly, and so far right now it's your basic control the map situation. Contact's not as frequent, but that's the important thing, to cap the map.
It looks like Calvaro is doing a pretty good job. He's pretty much got about 75%, if not better, of the map. But Mad Bull is going to make a push here down the middle, try and cut off the points that Calvaro has on the right side, which include the fuel he's capturing right now. So both fuel will soon be in Calvaro's hands, but one will be cut off by the looks of it.
Exactly. And as you see, as he doesn't have contact with the enemy, keeps on pushing. He's currently capping the territory point that's nearest to the enemy base, so there's no fear in capping.
Looks like he's going to try and chase down that rifle squad that stole the fuel on the right with some pioneers and some grenadiers moving in as well. So he should have the advantage here, but he might be able to scare off those pioneers. Good battle there. And yes, the pioneers are going
Exactly.
to retreat.
Very nice, but now he has those grenadiers right on him with that. But the only good thing is that they're in the open, and the M1 Garand, so being a semi-automatic weapon, is actually going to be really useful in the open field. But he's routing because he's lost too many men against those pioneers.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a health issue there, so he had to get out of there. So now it looks like pretty much Mad Bull is confined to the northeast corner of the map. So we'll see if he can spread out a little bit from here. Do you think he should maybe be using that MG a little more aggressively rather than just planting it in that building?
I don't know. The thing with the MG is that it's not the same thing as the Maxim, where you can do a quick setup.
Sure.
MG, you do have to position it in a sort of defensive style, but maybe it could have been good to keep the MG inside the fight, especially with those grenadiers having one-on-ones with riflemen, which riflemen usually win.
Looks like on the east corner there, looks like Calvaro started to lay down some barbed wire. Not sure what that was going to accomplish exactly, but now he's going to capture up that point finally. Madbow's finally getting some good territory here, but it looks like the fuel is in peril again in the east as the riflemen spread out, go for the capture. Hopefully that MG can engage at some point.
Exactly. Looks like that the second squad that's coming up on the left is going to be engaged. Yep, it's going to enter suppression. We got a one-on-one rifleman versus grenadiers. Grenadiers in green cover. There goes a grenade. Ineffective.
And he's engaging the MG in the house with some rifles. Good work by Calvaro by dancing around, throws a grenade, and just a little bit of health damage. Doesn't kill any models. But the MG is just not firing. He's switching windows, so really good work by Calvaro.
Yeah, this is microing at its best. I mean, most people tend to forget that you can actually get around an MG inside a building just by moving around the building, literally, because the MG needs to set up into different windows on each corner of the building.
Finally, he pulls it out and gives up on ever entering into battle with those rifles. Here comes a fresh MG, though.
First MG is going to set up, has enough time, it's going to cover the entire mid area.
Ooh, a smoke grenade right in front of him.
Ooh, perfect timing because now you can use that second rifleman squad and run up on him.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes to the flank. At the very least, he should be throwing. He should be moving up to throw a grenade on him, but it looks like he's just going to sit back.
Exactly. It's more concern for the ammunition point, but now we got lieutenants on the field and they're fighting off grenadiers that are taking the left side, a little closer to that left side fuel.
And the smoke's clearing. Looks like a flank now is coming in on the MG, but a little too late. He's going to have time to stand up and set up a little bit further back. But some grenadiers recklessly charging into green cover rifles here. Not looking good at all. They're going to have to retreat as well.
Exactly. I'm surprised he kept those riflemen. It's 5 man, but look at that. One bullet each and they'll all die
Yeah, very
on
low health.
that by the tractor.
There goes
We
more
got
smoke.
double MG solution over here.
Very interesting. Let's see what they can do here. Smoke, I don't know why he fired the smoke to the left of the MG, so it did nothing. And the MG is able to fire with impunity.
Oh god, we have 3 MGs all lined up. I think
Incredible.
it's honestly, I think this might be a bad move. Like it or not, MGs are just taking away munitions for, I mean, taking away manpower from more flexible units. I
Well, he
mean,
has no
MGs,
capping power now.
exactly. It looks like he's gonna gang up with rear echelon troops and the lieutenant on the left side if we take his fuel. Although damage is done and it's written uncapped.
Real tough to deal with those lieutenant squads with the bars, so he's just got to retreat.
Oh yeah, I love the BAR actually. It's really real.
Here
And
comes a
it's really
double A
useful.
half track.
Exactly. Half track's gonna come into the field, and this is the best counter he has against those 3 MGs. No matter what he throws at him, half track will be able to handle it.
Yep. And he doesn't have incendiary rounds either, so it's not like he can wound the armor on that thing
Ooh, but he gets
too
too
well.
close, and a
Oh,
Panzerfaust comes off.
not good
Damage
for
the engine.
Kelvaro. He's going to have to
Ooh,
pull out
but
and
2
repair.
kills. And it seems to be really taking the left side completely. A little bit of bad situation on the right side. MG42 set up, but not on the fuel.
He wisely turns healing on that very weak double vet rifle squad you mentioned earlier, and repairs the AA half track right in range of the ambulance. So good little strong point for Calvaro there. He can extend his force out from there.
Exactly.
And he just unlocked the bar as well, so we should see some bars upgrading on these next time they retreat. AA half track is just punishing those grenadiers. Comes a grenade likely.
Looks like he doesn't pull it off, but there he goes. Grenades out.
Blows a hole in the building. MG on the right fuel point, suppressing. But unfortunately for madbull, he's just easily able to fire these smoke grenades and completely invalidate his triple MG build.
Exactly. He's really using the smoke well.
Lieutenant engaging in the north. Oh, smartly turns the MG on the lieutenant squad, or actually I think he just happened to have that turned the right way, which is really nice.
That's the usefulness of the MG42 of having such a large arc.
For sure. Some rear echelon getting suppressed right up near the base as they go for a risky capture. He's going to want to retreat those.
You should.
And away they go. He's moving the A half track up, but he's doesn't have many targets, just a MG or two up there, but they're real close into the base.
Oh yeah, he's right on top of him with that half track. He's gonna do real good damage.
They're dropping like flies. And down goes an MG.
Very nice.
Krauts are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
He's going to run right into some MG fire here with the bar squad. And the AA half track will respond in kind.
There's a major reporting for action.
He's getting a little bit too close though, but yeah, he's backing it off.
Oh, he gets Fausted. Unfortunate there, but he can stay in the fight. He's still got 60% health or so, so he's just got to be careful to avoid a double Faust.
Notice that since it has suppression power, it's actually useful. I mean, you just can't let it get too close.
That's right. So unfortunately for the Wehrmacht, it's been pretty much total map control for the Americans here. And not a whole lot that can be done at this point. I know we're only about halfway into the game. You can tell things just not looking good for the Wehrmacht here.
Looks like he's gonna lose that half track on the right side.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Oh, can he tuck it behind that building? Just out of range by the looks of it.
Exactly, and the non-stop rifleman capping of the Axis zones up on the left side is actually still going very well because it's cutting off resources from the Axis.
Yeah, even if he managed to capture that fuel from the enemy down in the south there, it's likely to be cut off because of the aggressive rifles.
Looks like he's getting his half track back up to 100% status. Yet, I'm seeing not much movement by the Axis when it comes to developing up on armor because if you notice they have 0 vehicles.
And 113 fuel right now. Do you know what tier they're in? Looks like tier 2 probably.
Yeah, it's tier 2. In other words, they only have scout cars.
Just an overview of the units. Madbull has 3 Grens, 2 MG, a Pio, and an AT gun. And kelvaro has 3 rifles, a lieutenant, a major, a rear echelon, an A half track, and an ambulance with a Sherman on the way. So not totally lopsided, but those bars really make the difference.
Oh, exactly, especially because he's noticing no vehicles are coming in, so there's no need for bazookas or anything that's anti-tank specific.
That's right.
In other words, if he concentrates on anti-infantry like BARs, he's gonna win the match.
Nice rifle grenade there right onto the bar squad.
And
And
he's forced to retreat.
good smoke as well, though.
It's covering him enough for him to retreat without losing any units.
That's right. Double advantage there. Not just suppressing the fire on the squad that you're worried about, but allows for a retreat as well.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Precisely, and here comes the M4A3 Sherman.
This should be a game changer, folks.
It's most likely going to be a game changer. I mean, Sherman has AT capability, like it or not, and it also has the HE rounds, which make a huge difference. I've noticed, especially with the 50 cal turret on the top.
Yeah, they recently buffed the HE rounds. They used to do quite a bit less, to the point where you just were better off just leaving them on AP rounds 90% of the time, unless you're facing out absolute 100% infantry. But now they buffed the HE rounds, so people like to switch back and forth now, definitely.
Oh yeah, I definitely do that.
So here on the right side is an example where he's got the lone Gren squad and he's desperately trying to get that Faust in there. Well, I would disagree with that strategy just because the Faust isn't going to do much against the Americans. They can repair so easily that you get a Faust in there, you're probably going to lose 2 or 3 models, maybe even the whole squad trying to get the Faust in. And then within 10 seconds of retreat, that tank will be fully repaired again. So the Faust isn't so great against the Americans.
Do you really think they should just save up the munitions and invest in something else, like Panzer Grenadiers with Panzer Strikes.
Likely, or I mean, the Faust is useful in situations where you know you have support nearby. If you say you have a tank coming in, a Panzer IV or something, or you've got a pack nearby. But if you're just got a lone Gren squad trying to wound a tank, you know, against Soviets, that might be useful, slow them down quite a bit. But against Americans, not so much.
M10 tank destroyer ready for deployment.
Exactly, and it looks like he's almost gonna lose that rifleman squad up on the north right side. But M4 is covering him on his retreat. One thing I noticed, I think I have Kelvaro selected, and he chose the armored commander very late in the game, like when he had around 6 command points. In other words, he was playing with nothing but stock American units.
That's right. Interesting.
Exactly. I mean, most of the time I choose my commanders until I see what the enemy's playstyle is. But other times I feel like I don't know, I feel like blowing stuff up, so I'll go artillery with the Americans or something like that. But most of the time, you use a commander based on the other enemy. So most of the times, people should choose them based on how the enemy is playing, and using the commander that'll give you the best units in that situation.
Looks like madbull has built a bunker up on his cutoff point, upgrading it with an MG. And that pack is very low health
This
and down to 2 men as well.
exactly. And this looks like he's going with the mentality and he needs to bunker down and save whatever territory he has left. But the Americans are relentless, going on the right side, keep pushing over that VP.
Yeah, I think madbull's thinking he can maybe hold that right VP and then, you know, with a bunker there on the at mid, maybe push for the mid VP, but it'd be a tall order.
He says, especially with the Sherman nearby, and also that half track, which is the last in the entire game so far. HE rounds going off on that MG, and also a grenade takes it out completely. Now it's an infantry battle, but that bunker, the base bunker on the right side, is actually going to help him out. With those riflemen not too nearby.
Great positioning on the AA half track. If he moves his infantry over just a little bit, he'll take fire. Now he's under fire from the pack though.
Ooh, I almost gets a second hit off with that AT gun. He was lucky. I noticed that it's fired really quickly. That was 2 shots that went off in a matter of seconds.
It did seem to go off quickly. I'm not sure why.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's because of the veterancy, but let's see.
Yeah,
I'm
double
ready to
bet.
fire and weapon control. See the Sherman holding off the right side. HE round missing. Double vet grenadier moving towards that VP. And now he has managed. The Colorado has now 9 CPs, giving him the 105mm bulldozer Sherman. So this is going to be a huge game changer when it comes to massing infantry together for the Germans.
Yeah, good call by Kelvaro. I like how he went with the standard Sherman starting out and then transitioned into the bulldozer.
It's interesting. I mean, sometimes you can go for the Jackson if you want a strong AT, but I think he's doing it mostly because he hasn't seen a single German vehicle here.
Exactly.
Is there anything that maybe madbull is saving up from his commander?
Well, let's see here. He's got he's got a good chunk of fuel, 160 fuel, and what his commander offers in terms of purchasable units is only the Leaf 18 artillery. So unless he's thinking of artillery, then no.
Yeah, exactly. Bulldozer's gonna eliminate that bunker on the left side. AT gun responding, but infantry's gonna swarm that AT gun. He's probably gonna lose it. And he's gone. AT gun, double vet. That's hurtful. Sherman making short work of infantry on the left.
Personally, when you compare now that they've buffed the HE rounds on the regular Sherman, I don't find the bulldozer too impressive just because the regular Sherman seems to fill that role pretty well. What do you think?
I think it's true, but I mean, it's really helpful to have the 105mm on the bulldozer. I mean, when it's massed up together, I think it will be a lot more effective. When a lot of
Sure.
infantry are massed together, it'll be a lot more effective than having the HE rounds, I believe. Oh, he eliminates 1 squad and leaves 2 guys still alive.
Yeah, base rush now. This is not looking good at all for the Wehrmacht.
This
Not
looks
much.
like game, pretty much. Panzerfaust
Yeah.
goes off, entering the engine on the Sherman.
Then finally the AA half track goes to double vet.
Very nice. And looks like all they're waiting for is to take out that bunker so infantry can roll in
Yep,
and
good use
shoot
of green
bullets at
cover.
buildings.
That's right. No targets there. And down goes the bunker.
Exactly. And that's it. Infantry's gonna move in, swarm this base. Any kind of infantry, anything that uh, madbull can even try to consider to move in is not gonna work.
Now it's all a matter of whether we'll see an annihilation or a surrender. Looks like maybe annihilation looking at the game counter.
Pretty much. And first building goes off, but yeah, this is no way comeback for madbull at this point. Well, honestly, the turning point for me has to be the moment the Sherman showed up on the map. Once the Sherman came in, his ants pretty much those smoke grenades. I think he made those countless MGs that madbull went for pointless. He knocked them off with vision, or the Sherman came in and knocked it out completely.
That's right. He didn't have much of a chance. Once the Sherman came out, it was pretty much. I mean, that was really almost just icing on the cake at that point because he had such good map control that it was just a
Exactly.
given he was going to bring out some sort of armor, and he brought out the Sherman, and that was that. And now a Panzer IV makes an appearance in the north.
Exactly. It looks like it's gonna be almost pointless. The wounded Sherman's gonna move in. 105 rounds would be pointless.
105 just bounced off it.
Looks like he needs to bust that engine.
He might be able to kill that Sherman if
AP
he's
rounds
lucky.
going off from the Sherman. Engine's
Nope.
down. And the 105 takes. Oh no, it was the Jackson. I didn't see the Jackson come in there.
Nice.
Very
Well
nice
played by
game by
Kelvaro.
Kelvaro.
Any final thoughts on this one, Wardock?
Mostly I have to say what really won this game was the utilization of infantry. I mean, if you notice Cavaro's infantry, they're all vet. They're all minimum 2-star vet. They have BARs. I mean, in other words, he kept them alive. He really took care of his infantry. He used grenades throughout the game very effectively to wipe out MGs. Then the Sherman came on the map, and that was the huge game changer where he pretty much was the complete decline of madbull when it came into this game. Because once the Sherman was on the map, everything was going downhill, and it was the inevitable win of Kelvaro. And then the 105 was just a little bit of cherry on the cake, just because it was wiping out infantry squads with single shots. So nothing much to say. I mean, madbull did a really good try. But he couldn't really counter Kelvaro's extensive territory grabbing on left and right side. He lost the field from the get-go. So, well, very very well played by Kelvaro.
I think that about sums things up in terms of my thoughts as well. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will have some round 2 action coming up soon. It's just a matter of about 1 or 2 games left in the first round. I think Outlaw still has to play against Soapy. And then there might be one other game that I can't think of at the moment, but other than
It's
that,
my game.
yes, Wardock's game. And who are you
Yeah,
playing
versus
against?
Spec Ranger.
Specs Ranger.
Versus Spec Ranger. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be on the German side, him on the Allied side, and I think it's gonna be against Mioski.
All right, we will look forward to that one, and we'll look forward to Outlaw and Soapy as well. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great night.
Later, guys.